You have 7 sentences to translate covering various tenses. I'm going to go over how to do those various tenses today, and it'll be up to you to do them and turn them in when the time comes. You guys' test is a 10:30 slot Tuesday, but you can turn them in before then if you so choose. Just at 12:30 Tuesday is a deadline for you guys. That's the actual test day. Now I'm going to go over each of those tenses and how to do them. The first one is the present perfect. We've discussed this one in class before, and basically a perfect tense means complete, not without fault, but complete, completed action. And so all of the perfect tenses have a past participle. In English that would be eaten, run, swam, so forth. And in the sentence I gave you to translate, you have I have eaten. Okay, now the Spanish tense works very similarly to English. They have a verb that's equal to the verb to have, that's a helping verb. In this case, it's the verb haber. Here's the present tense of haber. That's I have, you have, he has, she has, you have, we have, you have, they have. These are my conjugations of haber. You can see the page number here, page 391 and 394 are the 2 pages that deal with this tense. So you have a form of haber plus a past participle. We just did the present perfect. Now we're going to do the future tense. Okay. Basically, to do the future tense, you take the infinitive and you stick one of these forms of haber at the end. For example, if I wanted to say, I will live, I take the infinitive to live, and I stick the E at the end, which is basically the same as that since the H is silent. Vivere. And you can see the future tense is discussed on page 404 in your book. Okay. So in the test, you do the form of comer, that's future, and finish it out. All right. That's number 2. The future. The next one on the list is the conditional. The conditional works very similarly to the future. You take the infinitive and you stick an ending on there. Here's the future, I will live. All right, I'm going to do the verb vivere. I'm going to start by putting down the infinitive in all 6 slots, and then we'll put endings at the end of each of these to finish out the I would live. And these endings look identical to the ER-IR endings for the imperfect. Bibiria, bibirias, bibiria, bibiriamos, bibiriais, bibiria, like that. These conjugations are on page 407 in your book, how to do all of those. And these conjugations are on 407 in the book. This is vivere. The one in your sheet is comer. It works similarly. AR verbs work the same way too. They have the ia endings as well. So there's that. All right? That's the third one. The next one on our list is a past perfect. Okay. Now, we had the present perfect back at the beginning. We had a form of haber plus a past participle. Okay, so we have haber, and pretty much all of the perfect tenses have a form of haber and a past participle. In the past perfect, the only thing that changes is the form of haber, and you use the imperfect of haber, which was like this. Había, habías, había, habíamos, habíais, había. So if I want to say, I had lived, yo había vivido, for example. Okay? And the test that you have the verb comer, but it works similarly to this. Okay? That's that one. And the past perfect is page 472 in your book. Page 472. Okay. The next one is a past subjunctive. They call it the imperfect subjunctive in the book, but basically it's just a past subjunctive. Now, the past subjunctive is kind of weird. It starts with the third person plural form of the preterite. So I'll go back to the verb vivir. The third person plural form and the preterite was vivieron. And that's what you start with. But you take off the O-N and you stick an A at the end, and that's how you start off your conjugations. All right, that's your start. So the yo form looks like that. The to form has a S at the end. The he, she form looks just like the yo form. The we form has a MOS at the end. And an accent there. The vosotros form has an accent there, vivierais, and vivieran is the they form, and the ustedes form. Alright. Again, those are on page 424. You can look at the conjugations there, how they work. This is vivir. The one that you have to do on the test is comer, similar to this. Alright? So you start with the third person plural and the preterite. Again, that was vivieron. Even if the preterite has an irregular form, for example, tener has a weird form that goes to TUV stem, and the third person plural is tuvieron, but the past subjunctive, or the imperfect subjunctive as they call it in your book, of tener is tuviera, tuvieras, tuviera, so forth. They all work like this. You find the third person plural form of the preterite, then use that as your base. And that's the one that I had in the fifth sentence on your test, and that's page 424. Okay. The last two that I have there are not necessarily covered in your book, but I am going to cover them here in the lecture today. Alright. I'm still taking notes on this one. Alright, so let me go to the next one. Alright, now, the past perfect subjunctive works the same way. Basically, you have your form of haber again, plus the past participle. Okay. And in this case, you go to the third person plural form of the preterite haber, and you get ubieron, and you kind of take off the O-N, you put your A, and you get that. Okay. So the to form is ubieras, ubiera, ubieramos, ubiera, is, and ubieran. Okay. So you have the imperfect subjunctive haber plus a regular past participle. Yo hubiera vivido, I had lived. Okay? And that's how you do the past perfect subjunctive. Okay? Alright, now, one other one that we have left, the past progressive. Okay, now, the imperfect itself is really a past progressive. For example, if I went back to vivir, it would be I was living. And I could just use the yo form of the imperfect vivia, and that could mean I was living, or I used to live. But you can do it in a compound form where you use a form of star. Remember, all the progressive tenses, and this is the past progressive, all the progressive tenses use some form of a star and a present participle. In this case, you use the imperfect of a star, which was estaba, estabas, estaba, estábamos, estabais, estaba. You use one of those forms plus a present participle. So, I was living would be, yo estaba viviendo. I was living. Like that. The imperfect of a star plus a present participle. So, in your case, you'll have to use the yo form here plus the present progressive, the present participle of comer. Okay? Alright. Now, there are the 7 tenses. You have to bring these back to me translated by next Tuesday at 12:30. That's the cutoff date. The test is set to be from 10:30 to 12:30, but you have until 12:30. Okay. All right.